Hey y'all! Hello, 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 people of the stream. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I see Sophia out there and Anita, both on Twitch. Nice to see y'all. Anita's moving all the old people to the new facility. So I'm sorry you had such a long day though, but yay for being trusted. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Excuse me. So I'm tired. So it's been a very busy week, generally speaking. Sophia says the new facility is so gorgeous and probably so clean. Like, that's one of the best things about, like, moving to a new whatever is that it's clean. And so, it's not old, it's not decrepit, it's clean and new. And yeah, that's awesome. Wide hallways, everything is new and fresh. And I see over on YouTube, we have Daniela. Hello, Daniela. Nice to see you. Hello, hello. Sophia says, and the kitchen is big. We do love a big kitchen here, don't we? So I'm a little sniffly, y'all. I don't know what's going on. So, and Mandy's here on Twitch. Hello, Mandy. Welcome in. Welcome in. How is everyone doing today? So we had a plumber in today because we have a little leak around the garbage disposal in the kitchen, and we suspected one of the heating elements in the water heater had died, but turns out we need a new water heater and a new garbage disposal. So they quoted us $3,200 because of course. So luckily I do have an emergency fund, and we have enough in there to cover it. Yeah. So, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, y'all. So that's how my day is going. And then after the stream, I have to take old lady cat to the vet because I think she's got blood in her urine, and I suspect it's probably end-stage kidney disease. So I am hoping for the best, hoping they can just give her a shot of antibiotics. Maybe it's just a UTI. That's okay. But I'm also preparing for them to tell me that, it's time. So, yeah. Daniela's on page 174 of the Charm Offensive. Really enjoying it. What is that? Like, what genre is that? That sounds... I like the title. The title's fabulous. I mean, obviously, it's got some fantasy in it. Mandy says, oh no. And Sophia says, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't think it'll hit me as hard as when we had to put Pixie and Rafe to sleep. Because, again, Isabel spent the majority of her life outside and hardly letting us interact with her. It's only been the last, 6 or 7 years where we've brought her in because she was getting too old. And only in the last year or two has she been letting me really interact with her, which, and I'm positive she has kidney disease. She hasn't been diagnosed with it, but I'm positive she has it. But I also know that she won't let me do the things you have to do to help a cat that has kidney disease. I know she won't let me do it. So, yeah. Thank you, Daniela. And Sophia says, I was about to say I know how you feel because my grandma passed this weekend, but that wasn't actually sad. Oh, I'm sorry. Which makes me sound super cold, but she was very old and very ready to die, and she went peacefully. And honestly, for any of us, that's, having people who love you and ideally maybe people around you who you love when you go. But, going peacefully... and being, old, yeah. That's, that's the way I would want to go. Just quietly and done. So, yeah, I get it. Mandy says, even good passings can be rough, though, Sophia. Yes, that's true. That's true. And I think a lot has to do, too, with how involved the person was in our lives. Because, when my grandmother passed, she was ready. She was ready. And I miss her, but she was ready. And she and I were super close. Now, like, when my dad passes, I probably won't be as emotional about it because my dad and I have a difficult relationship on my side. Like, I have a difficulty with him. So, you know, let's see. Daniela says of The Charm Offensive, it's a male-male contemporary romance featuring a dating show, hence the charm in the title. Oh, see, I was thinking charms like magical charms. That might be because I'm writing about that. It could be. It could be because I'm writing about magic. Sophia says she fell and hit her head, etc. So she was really disoriented in her last week and days, so it was more of a relief. My grandmother had a stroke, fallen and broken her neck. And so her last year and a half, she, like, they had put these rods in her neck, and so she couldn't turn her head like this, and someone had to be with her all the time. Now she could move, like she could walk, she wasn't paralyzed or anything like that, but like, yeah, that was not, and my grandmother was a super independent woman, so like that was not her ideal, but it did give me an opportunity because she lived in a different state, and so I would go and spend anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks every month helping to take care of her so that my aunt would have a break because she was also still working full time. So, so she was able to also have a little bit of a break. And, you know, so that was not the way I think my grandmother would have liked the last year and a half of her life to be, but it gave me the opportunity to spend more time with her, which, like, my grandmother and I were very close. I was her first grandchild, you know, and I lived there when I was in college for a couple of years, you know, so like, yeah. And I'd always told her that I would take care of her when she got old. And I did. She was surprised when I said, you know, when I made the arrangements, but I was like, I always told you I would. I was not lying. That was not bullshit. So, Sophia says, still, she was a really good grandma, able to live her life the way she had been, right? And so, yeah. So I didn't cry for her. Sometimes I'll get a little emotional for myself, but like, yeah, I understand exactly what you mean, Sophia. Mandy says, I was way more torn up about my friend of 20 years dying than about my father-in-law. He was a good man, but we weren't super close. Yeah, absolutely. And a lot has to do with your own personal relationship, of course. That makes total sense. Like, oh no, did I disconnect? I'm not showing that I'm disconnected. Oh yeah, I am disconnected. All right. Okay, I'm back. Apparently. It's super weird because it's not, yeah, so it doesn't, so I've got my notifications window, but there's also the button that lets me end the stream. And usually, if I get disconnected, it will say, you know, going live or something like that, you know, where it's trying to reconnect. But it hasn't been doing that lately, and I'm not sure why. So, yeah, but I'm back, yeah? Everybody can still see and hear me? And probably YouTube has been fine. YouTube, did I disappear for a minute? Because, you know, Twitch. I really feel like they need... Oh, it just glitched for a second on YouTube, but you're still on. Yeah. And I am positive that that is Twitch. Twitch is just problematic. So, yeah. All right. So I'm glad I'm back. So what's everybody working on today? So I've got a ton of stuff to do, but I don't want to think about it. So I've been kind of working on my writing a little bit today. So I've already gotten about 250 words. And right now I'm going back and rereading a part that I wrote last week because I don't want to repeat information, basically. So yeah. Emily's here on YouTube. Hello, Em. Welcome in. Glad you could join us. Sophia's like, I'm not even going to pretend that I'll write today. That's okay. There's lots of other stuff you can do. You can read. You can cross stitch. You can do other dark textile arts. You can play a game. You can do whatever you want, Sophia. Mandy says, I've written 350 words today. You go, girl. I love it. Sophia says, but I might do some cross stitch. I think that's a great idea. Daniela says, I tried Streamlabs for the first time this week, and it disconnected me twice. It ended the stream, and on second try, it froze the timer. Oof. Yeah, Streamlabs can be, that's what I use, Streamlabs. And it can be weird sometimes. I'm probably eventually going to move over to OBS, which is a little bit less user-friendly, but probably a lot more powerful. That's my understanding. So, but I haven't had the spoons to do that yet. I have it installed, and I've played with it a couple different times. And the cool thing is that it apparently will, I don't know, like all the themes that I have on Streamlab, I seem to be able to use on OBS without having to like, the overlays, without having to like re-download them or anything like that. So that's nice, at least. Mandy says, plus adjusted my timeline to take longer on the road between cities. Mandy also says, I just joined the Dresden Files tabletop RPG stream last week. That's cool. That's so cool. I love that. Hey, Kayla's here on YouTube. Hi, Kayla. OBS is powerful for sure. Very finicky, though. Yeah, but like so is Streamlabs. Streamlabs can also be very finicky. Anita says, I'm catching up on emails, interviews, and newsletters today. Maybe writing if I get the work done in time. Excellent. Excellent. Good, good, good. Kayla says, hi. And Mandy says, I'm already enjoying it and hoping we can play again tonight. That's so exciting. Daniela said, I just went back to StreamYard, but had to pay for it. Maybe I'll try OBS or Restream. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like, what are you going to do, right? The thing I like about OBS is that it's free. So there's that. So yeah. And apparently Stream Elements has just noticed that I'm live. So yeah. Emily's at work right now, and she will be writing if she can. We got you. We got you. So where I am in my story is my two main characters have come back from meeting with the first main character's best friend, and they got a little bit information about this book, and did get confirmation that if they don't figure out what they need to figure out within 3 days, the main character's gonna die. So they did get confirmation of that, and so they figured out that they think they need to release the spirits that they believe are caught in the book, which is part of what they have to do, but not all of what they have to do. And when they got back to the tattoo shop that the main character owns, there's a car out front, and it's someone from the main character's past who wants her to find a book. And she's like, I'm retired. And he's like, but for a friend. And she's like, no, I'm retired. And he's like, all right, but if you hear anything, let me know. And she's like, and then goes inside. And so that's where I am. She's inside with the other main character right now. And the other main character is about to say, who the hell was that? And that's why I'm going back to when the main character, or when the guy first showed up. I want to see what I wrote, so I'm not repeating a lot of stuff in detail or whatever. So that's where I am. Let's see. Mandy is playing a priestess of Hecate with powers similar to a Knight of the Cross from the books. That's so cool. Oh my god. I miss tabletop role-playing. Or I miss role-playing generally. But I also know that I do not have the commitment required to play with any regularity. and I don't want people ever to rely on me when I know I'm gonna flake. So, so yeah, so that's that. All right, shall we get into it? We've been chattering for a minute, so let's get into it. If you haven't let us know what you're working on, please feel free to do that in the chat. But we're gonna start our first sprint. I have 20 minutes on the clock. Let's get into it, y'all. about certain things. So I'm probably gonna let it sit for a little bit. I need to let it percolate. So I'm gonna see what other stuff I need to do that I did not get done yesterday. Oh, sorry. Oh, I think we have something happening with the dragon. Yes. Mandy fed the dragon. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Mandy also hit up Facebook while drinking tea and got distracted by fact checking. We gotta work. We can't be messing around with that stuff. So how'd everybody else do? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. So what am I gonna do next? Oh, I know what I'm gonna do next. So I have a convention this weekend and I have not gone through my sales boxes since I think Dragon Con. They've just been sitting downstairs. Yeah, so I need to go through and I need to charge my credit card terminal and stuff. And the video's gone. Can you hear me? Damn it. Daniela read 12 pages. One of the characters is having an identity crisis. I mean, I can relate to that. I don't know what is going on with this. I don't know what's going on with the video and stuff. So, Daniela, you're not having a problem, are you? I mean, I guess if you are, I won't hear you. So, or you won't hear me, rather. All right. Let me know, Daniela, if you guys, and Emily, I think Emily's over on YouTube as well. Let me know if you still see me or hear me. My audio came back a bit late, like in the middle of the sentence, but now it's okay. All right. Mandy says, finally back. I don't know if that means me or her. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. It's just annoying. And I can never tell whether I'm connected or not. I think the reason that the button doesn't change is because I'm also streaming to YouTube. So that must be why I got a notification that the stream had disconnected. Although the notification didn't tell me I had a new notification. I had to actually go in notifications to see it. So yeah, so I think that it doesn't let me know I'm off of Twitch because there's just the one button and I'm still streaming to YouTube, and so it's showing is still connected. So this is obviously either a Streamlabs thing or a Twitch thing. I mean, I guess it could be my internet, but it is affecting YouTube, but not disconnecting from YouTube. So my guess is that it may be Streamlabs. I don't know. It's annoying. All right. How'd you do? Oh, Anita refreshed and I came back. Yay, I'm back. So thank you for refreshing, Anita. How did everybody do? Daniela read 12 pages. Mandy got caught up in fact checking. Hey, it's Paula. Hi, Paula. Welcome in. Glad you could join us. She's popping in to boop the like button. She's reading Outdrawn by Deanna Gray for Pleasure Your Shelf Book Club. Okay, that is the best name of a book club ever. If I were going to join a book club, I would join a book club with a name like that. So Anita almost finished the interview. Only 2 more questions to think up. Yes. Speaking of interviews, I'll be interviewed by Anita tomorrow. So, but it's not going to be live, so we're not going to tell you about it. We'll tell you about it later. So, yeah, Mandy got distracted by fact checking. That happens. All right, but we got another sprint, so we're going to jump right into it. I am going to go and get that box, my first box I need to start going through, and I'm going to do that. We can tell them about it. Yes, we can. We're going to be talking about monsters. Let's talk about it during the break, though. So don't let me forget though. Okay. Paula says, "Is it even a stream if there isn't technical difficulties?" Right, right. For real, for real. Yeah, Mandy agrees that that is an amazing name. That is an excellent name. Yes, back to writing, Mandy. Let's get on it. So I'm gonna put, like I said, I'm gonna put my writing away, and I'm gonna start going through my organizing my sales table stuff because I'm gonna need it for Friday. Okay, y'all. 20 minutes. We ready? Let's go. That's it. That's the end of that sprint. How did everybody do? Welcome in, Pearls and Plot Twists, over on YouTube. Is there another name I can call you? Or would you like me to just call you Pearl? I can do that too. Welcome in. Glad you could join us. And I saw Paula pop in to mash the like button and remind us all to hydrate. I have herbal tea, so I can hydrate with that. Done and done. Sophia asks, how is it only 7 o'clock? How is this day not over yet? Well, I mean, the day can be over. You can go to bed. I mean, you'll probably be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but you can. Anita says, interview is done. On to the newsletter and the emails. Excellent. So, to tell you guys what we're going to be doing tomorrow, Anita and I, is we are going to be discussing monsters for an upcoming podcast episode. So we'll let y'all know when that's all live and stuff, but it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. Mandy says, got another 120 words. Yes. Good job. Sophia says, I have no problem with being up at 4 in the morning, actually. Well, then go to bed. Go to bed if you want to go to bed. I mean, we'll miss you, but if you want to go to bed, go to bed. You are welcome to do that. Emily is back. Hello, Emily. Went all right. Back to outlining. To be honest, wasn't happy with the flow of the story. Also, side note, I have to step away from 1:30 to 2 for a work thing. Well, hopefully we will be here. Well, we will be here. If you're coming back after 2, we'll be here when you get back. Mandy says, and figured out the next bit. This book is vaguely outlined, but a little more vague than I'm used to. So my outline, I'm just, there are things that have happened when I was planning it out, that when I got to it, I was like, yeah, that's not what I'm feeling. Or like, yeah, I don't know that that's really feasible. And, whatever. So I'm just like, okay, we're going off in this direction for a little while. Anita says, Shadows and Ink podcast, which is airing February 20th. Thank you, Anita, because I can't keep up with this shit. I really can't. I'm awful at keeping up with all of this. So I will be on the Shadows and Ink podcast on February 20th. So very exciting. I'm so excited to talk about monsters. I love monsters. Sophia says, okay, I will go to bed, but I will be writing during tomorrow's stream, or yell at me. All right. Because I have a short shift tomorrow and there are no excuses. None. No excuses, Sophia. Go get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow and we will be writing tomorrow. All right. Good night, friend. Mandy says, I've got the highlights and key moments all set. It's getting there that's the problem. I know, right? Like, getting there is both the problem and the fun part. Like, it's really weird how it occupies both of those things. Emily says, the thing that put me back to outlining is I'm still struggling with how to structure a climactic event without a third act breakup, because I really don't want that. I don't worry so much about the structure as long as it works for the story, I guess. I don't know. I'm very bad at seeing structure within a story anyway, so that's a me thing for sure. But we get a little breaky break, which is good because I could use a top off of my tea and I need to run to the little ladies' room. So if you guys need something to eat, something to drink, you need to use the restroom, this is a perfect time to do that, though you don't have to. I'm not your mommy, you gotta listen to me. But if you've been with me this whole time or even part of this time and you have not moved your body and you've been sitting this whole time, please get up and move around a little bit. Stretch your bod, let your muscles know you still know they're there. And then also, here's a reminder to take your meds if you have not as yet taken your meds. I have taken all my meds today, y'all. All of them. All my pills have been put into my body. I'm very happy with myself. Mandy says, I do need to sprinkle the slow burn romance throughout. Oh, you redeem stretch. Sorry, y'all. I missed the redeems because I'm on the, I'm over on the multi-stream thing, so I don't miss the YouTube chat, so I missed the stretch. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna do the stretching while I'm on break. So, because I'll do it while I'm filling and reheating my tea. All right. Mandy also took all her morning meds. Good job, Mandy. You and me. You and me, babe. All right. So let's take a minute. I'll put 5 minutes on the clock, on the red clock, and yeah. Oh, I forgot. I also have another thing I'm recording for Continual next week. See, I can't keep track of all this shit. It's a good thing it's on my calendar. Kayla forgot her meds. You're welcome for the reminder. Huzzah. All right, let's be right back. Meet back here in 5. Okay? Let's do it. Okay, I have returned with a full mug of tea and some Lorna Doones. I love me some shortbread cookies. All right, so Anita says, I got another interview recording on Sunday and 3 live YouTube things next week. Jesus. Yeah, I've got our thing tomorrow, and then what else? And then next week I've got Go Indie Now Late Night News. We postponed it till this Monday, so I've got that on Monday night, and then I've got to record a continual panel, which is what I just got the email for, on Tuesday. And then I think that's it. So, for next week. So just 2 for me. Alright, so the timer went off. So we are back from our break. Is everybody settled and ready? Did you get your stretching in? Ooh, I did some stretching downstairs where I did like some shin stretches with my hands against the counter, and then I like pushed my head down so it like stretched out my neck. Oh, y'all, that felt so good. So thank you, Mandy, for the reminder to stretch. So, all right, are we ready to get back into it? Let me see here. Let me pull up the Spirit City timer. All right, are we ready? I am going to continue to go through my stuff, my sales table stuff, to organize it and get it repacked. I bought a new case for my Square terminal, which is how I take my money. The old one was really cool, but it was really big for it because it had spots for receipt, rolls of receipt, and I don't like, people hardly ever ask for receipts. I've literally never done one. So I asked for a new one for Christmas that's a lot smaller. So I was transferring those over, but I'm charging my terminal right now, so I can't really pack that yet. But I'm going to go through the stuff, and I think I have some inventory to log in as well. All right, shall we get back into it, y'all? 20 minutes on the clock. Let's do it. Here we go. Okay, y'all, that sprint is done. I decided I was gonna um, get my inventory all up to date, and now I'm trying to figure out when the last time I did inventory was, because it's been a hot minute. So I'm trying to figure out if I entered the last sales event I had, which was actually in October. I don't remember what it was, though. What was it? It was the weekend before Multiverse, I think. I don't remember. I'm losing it, y'all. It'd be October. Oh no, it was 2 weekends before. It was Decatur Book Festival. That's what it was. And I don't think I entered my sales into my actual inventory system where I keep, track of how much of everything I have. So I'm trying to figure out if I did that. So yeah. All right. Let's see. Alicia is struggling. So for those who don't know, welcome in, Alicia. For those who don't know, Alicia has construction going on her street, and so she's having to deal not only with the noise and stuff, but also with the inconvenience of having to go in and out, with the construction people and all the machines and the flaggers and stuff. So yeah, they have this. They have one of those stop slow flagger people like 2 houses down from my driveway, and I have to wait. But I witnessed someone drive away yelling profanities, and someone ran over their cones. I can see how the construction people would be less than friendly after that. Ariel's here on YouTube. Hello, Ariel. Welcome in. Glad you could join us. Mandy got 176 words. Atta girl. Anita got the first batch of emails sent. Yay. Pearls and Plot Twist says hello to Ariel. And Mandy says, I'm falling asleep sitting up, so I'm going to go take a nap. I feel like that's a good plan. That's a good plan, my friend. I am going to continue to figure out what the fuck is going on with my inventory. That's what I'm going to work on. Although, a part of that sprint was spent learning that Alchemy, our local burn, which is like Burning Man, but then local, is canceled for this year. And that usually happens on the same weekend of Multiverse the last several years, since the pandemic, basically. The weekend that they've done it has always been on Multiverse weekend, so I haven't been able to go. But now none of my friends get to go either, so maybe they'll all come to Multiverse. That's what I'm gunning for. So a whole bunch of people will not have shit to burn on that weekend. But I told them, I said, you can't burn shit in our hotel. But it's still a fun, nerdy time. So, we'll see. We might have some burners there. All right. And if you don't understand anything I just said, that's okay. So, all right. Shall we do another sprint, y'all? I'm already tired. I'm winding down. But I did eat my shortbread cookies, and that made me happy. Okay. Y'all ready? 20 minutes? Let me see if Twitch is looking okay on that side. Yep, don't see anything I need to address. So 20 minutes, y'all. Let's do the things. Here we go. All right, y'all, that's the end of the sprint. How'd you do? I finally figured out how to do my. So I had switched to this new inventory system that is an Access database. I didn't build the database. And I switched to it last year from an Excel sheet because the Excel sheet was getting unwieldy. And so I learned how to do it and all that kind of stuff. Well, it's been a really long time since I updated because I didn't even update, I didn't even do my Dragon Con sales. So it's been since like August since I updated this inventory. So I forgot how to do it. So I had, and it's not particularly intuitive. So it's on the edge of intuitive. Like it takes me a little while, but I can usually figure it out. So I had to figure it out again. So so yeah. Whew. So I'm working on that. Let's see. Anita got some social media sharing done and started on the newsletter. Good job. And I had forgotten to start the bot this morning when I started the stream. So poor Valerie had to lurk with no lurk message. Sorry, Val. So yeah, but we get a break. And I don't really need to top off my tea because I haven't actually been drinking it that much. So I think I'm just going to run to the restroom real quick and then I'll be right back. All right. So again, if you guys need to get something to eat, you need to get something to drink, you need to use the facilities, this is a perfect time to do that. If you've been sitting this whole time, please get up out of your chair and move your bod. You'll be happy when you get old like me. Alicia said, I tried the egg rolls, and after 2, I don't think I'm a fan. So I made a peanut butter and banana sandwich. Saved the rest for hubby to try. Yeah, like, when you were talking about it, I was like, Philly cheesesteaks don't belong in an egg roll. Like, in a spring roll. They don't belong there. That's not... Like, I get that people are trying to capitalize on Asian cuisine, but, like, no. Philly cheesesteak requires bread. Just like an Italian beef sandwich. Requires bread. So yeah, I probably wouldn't be a fan either, Alicia. So, but a peanut butter and banana sandwich sounds real good. Alright. I'm gonna put 5 minutes on the red clock. I mean the red timer. No, not 15 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm gonna be right back. Y'all be right back. We'll meet back here. Hey, and this is your last reminder. If you haven't taken your meds today yet, please take your meds because we want you around for a while. Alicia says they put the meat, Parmesan, and cream cheese in it. Cream cheese? Yeah, they got it all wrong. They got it all wrong. All right, let us be right back. I'll meet you guys back here I'll probably be back in less than 5. I'm digging that very chill, funky music right there. So, okay, I have returned. Let me put the red timer on the page so you can see how much time we have left of the break. Whew. So, yeah, we're not going to be going long today because, like I said, I've got to take my old lady cat, and I'm not really sure where she is right now, to the vet this afternoon. Yeah. So this week, I've got a convention this weekend, so I will be vending at Con Possible, which is a steampunk convention here in Atlanta. So, looking forward to that. And it's funny because, like, there are a lot of authors vending that like, I've been vending there for probably the last 3 or 4 years. And the first year there were only, I think, 3 or 4 authors vending. Now there's probably about 10, and John from Falstaff is bringing the mothership. So, yeah, so there's going to be a lot more books. Emily is going to write this next sprint, or outline and write, or, yeah, you're just going to work on the book. You're going to work on the book. That's what's going to happen. So, yeah, so I'm kind of vaguely annoyed with myself because I still don't have anything new on my sales table, even though I was bound and determined to get a collection of short stories done. And therein lies my biggest issue, is that I can't trust myself to do the shit that I need to do. That's the issue for me. When I said, like, last time I was talking, and it might have been the Sunday meeting or whatever, is that I'm having a crisis of confidence, and that's the confidence I don't have. It's not about my writing particularly, it's about trust in myself. So, anyway, there we go. But I still have all the other stuff I sell, which are like pins and stickers and stuff like that, and I've got new stuff in that regard from last year. So yeah. Anyway. Are we ready to get going? So I can turn off this timer. Are we ready to get back into it, y'all? Nobody's saying it. There we go. Emily says, but you have us as accountability buddies. What if you made a self-imposed rule of like 300 words per sprint for short stories? The thing is, the short stories are already written. I just have to pull them together. And, you know, like, I have a couple more I have to edit, but I have to, like, do the formatting and find a cover and all that, and I just haven't done it. But either way, I won't get it done by this weekend, so, all right. Alicia, yeah, and right now in terms of writing, I'm kind of trying to focus on working on a novel, but I do need to get back to the short story collection. My next vending thing is going to be, because I had forgotten I'd signed up for this, and I think my next one is in May. So So yeah, so I will be trying to shoot for that, for getting it done by May. All right. And Alicia's like, let's go. Okay, let's get into it. 20 minutes, y'all. Off we go. Okay, y'all, how'd you do? I'm still fighting with this whole inventory thing. I'm getting there. Um, but I hate Square's reports. You cannot tailor them in a way that is useful for me. Like they've got a bunch of columns on the report that I don't need. I don't need like one of the columns is unit. Well, all of my units are each. So I don't need that column, but it's like right smack dab in the middle of two columns that I can't have on the same screen because this giant column for each is in between them, and I can't move the column to a different part, and I can't filter out that column. So I just have to keep scrolling to the right and to the left and to the right and to the left, and it's annoying as fuck. So Valerie, welcome in, friend. Glad you could join us today over on Twitch. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? How you doing? Emily did good. She got some thinking done and got like 200 words or so down. Kind of researching right now if you can put the climax at the start of the story or leave it to me to not make things simple. Well, you don't want the climax at the start of the story because then there's no reason to read. You know? Like, you can maybe, like, I wouldn't play with time too much especially as a sort of novice novelist. I wouldn't play too much with the structure because you can absolutely put like part of the climax at the beginning and then work your way through the story from some earlier time to that point and then the actual final climax. But it's not an easy thing to do, especially if you've got it, like, especially if you're relatively new to doing it, right? So I wouldn't, but you know what? You may be better than me. So, but you know, if it doesn't, here's the thing, you can write it, and if it doesn't work, you can rewrite it. You know, you can do that. So, do what you feel you need to do for the story itself. Valerie's doing okay, plotting and planning and reading slush. Another day in the trenches, friend. Another day in the trenches. Let's see. Daniela went to make dinner, ate it. What did you eat? Oh, I cooked twice today and also baked, so there was a lot of cleanup. Ugh. I'm so sorry. My husband and I are mismatched. So I generally will clean up as I cook. You know, I'm not going to be like scrubbing the floors and shit, but like I will, like if I've used something and I've got a bit of time between the cooking things, I'll put it in the dishwasher or whatever. Because I don't like having this humongous mess at the end after I've put all this effort into cooking. My husband is not like that. So when we cook together, it can be a little frustrating because he just throws shit everywhere. And I'm just like, oh my God. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a neat freak by anybody's standards ever. But like we are mismatched in that way. So, let's see. I still want to know what you ate, Daniela. What did you make for dinner? Emily says, fair, appreciate the experience advice. You're welcome. I'm always willing to give advice. Whether, you know, it's applicable or useful to you, you have to decide that on your own. Anita got a chunk of the newsletter done. Yes. Molly, water. I've been crossing this desert for days, but I have finally made it. Yes. Yes. Alicia set up a new savings challenge for the budget and doing some budgeting before I have to go and get the kids from school. Yeah, I broke my mom's brain yesterday because I'm setting her up with my budgeting software. Like, the cool thing, if you guys use You Need a Budget, do you know you can give 5 people access to You Need a Budget, but not access to your budgets, so they can do their own budgets? Did you know that? I didn't know that. So yeah, so I gave my mom one of them, and of course she doesn't know anything about anything, so I broke her brain. And then I broke her brain again when we talked about immigration and ICE and all that kind of thing. But that first breaking of her brain was just showing her the budgeting, not doing anything with it really, but just showing it to her. So, excuse me. So, all right. Valerie says, my husband is the cook in our house as a rule, and also the dishwasher. How did you manage that? My husband and I both cook and we both do the dishwasher, right? Usually if one person does all the cooking, usually the other person cleans up. But when we do things like meal boxes, recipes for meal boxes, we usually try to cook together, you know? And then, usually he ends up putting the stuff away and I'll put some of the stuff in the dishwasher or vice versa or whatever. And it just happens. Let's see. Valerie says, I try to be the dishwasher loader, but some stuff can't go in there. So I must leave it to someone else to wash. I mean, I'm down with that plan, Valerie. I'm down. Let's see. Alicia gives Molly a huzzah. And Alicia says, I didn't know that about you need a budget. Yeah. So if you're not using that software and you have a friend who's now the caveat is that the main account holder can see your plans. Like they can see that. So obviously you would only want to do that with somebody you trust. So, I second that yawn, right? For real, for real. Daniela said, I had noodles with tofu and peanut butter sauce. It's a recipe I make every week, basically. Yeah, because it sounds like simple and tasty. And I am all for both simple and tasty. I mean, I can do fancy and tasty, and that's fine. But, ooh, give me some simple and tasty. I'm all over that. All over it. We had leftovers last night from a dinnerly meal that my husband cooked a couple days ago. Because I was out running all over Atlanta and wasn't going to get home till late, so he had to make it by himself. But it was like a shepherd's pie, but it was like a turkey burger shepherd's pie. And we've had something like that before. So it was like ground turkey, and then I don't know what else was in it, but it had like things you would have like on a cheeseburger. And then it had like mashed potato on top, and you put it in the oven or whatever, and some cheese. And one of the things you put in there is you dice up some pickles, and we never put in the amount they say to put in with pickles or onions, and it still was overwhelmingly pickle flavor the night he made it. But the leftovers yesterday were not as pickle flavor. It settled a little bit, and it was actually much more tasty last night than it was the night before. Valerie says, we split our chores in this house. I wash towels and sheets, sweep floors, clean bathrooms. He cooks and does dishes. Kids put away their own laundry. Amen. Yeah, I do the laundry. He does the garbage and stuff. He does the vacuuming. We both will clean the bathroom, but he does, I don't do showers or bathtubs. I used to have to do that as a kid, always, and I hate it. I also don't do yard work. So, but most of the inside stuff, especially like things like laundry and stuff like that, we'll fold the sheets together and, we'll put the sheets on together because it's easier with two people, both of those things. But pretty much everything else in terms of laundry is me, which is fine. I don't mind that. I pay all the bills. I do a lot of the scheduling of stuff, but not everything. I do I do a lot of scheduling for my mom's medical stuff too. So and my husband won't let me schedule shit for him, like in terms of medical stuff, because he doesn't want to face things until he's ready to face them. So even though we both know he needs a dentist appointment, he will not let me make that an appointment. He won't. So anyway, yeah. But also if I had kids, they would absolutely be doing their own laundry. I mean, obviously not small children, but yeah. I started learning how to do my own laundry when I was about 10 or 12. So by the time I was 14, I was pretty much doing my own laundry. All right. But we have one more sprint to go. I'm probably just going to shut down the stream after this, y'all. If you guys out there in YouTube land know who is streaming and stuff, um, feel free to put it in there. And Twitch folks, I just don't feel like finding somebody to raid and all that kind of mess. And I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing that. So we're just going to close both streams down. But you guys are welcome to put in the chat, folks who are currently streaming on either Twitch or YouTube, so people can wander over there if they need to. Oh. So, all right. But we got 20 more minutes. I'm going to see if I can finish some of this inventory stuff. At least the stuff that I didn't put in my inventory system. I got half of it in. I need to do the other half. The other half is actually longer. It's not really half. It's probably 3/4. Because the ones I did are Dragon Con, and those are just books. And the other one also has a whole bunch of pins and bookmarks and stuff like that that I'm going to have to put in. So that's going to take a little longer. But it should still be pretty quick. Okay, I got the last 20 minutes on the clock. So let's get going. Here we go. Oh, I'm not muted. Thanks. Okay, y'all, that's it. That's the end of the stream. How did everybody do? I had something to eat, and then I'm still working on that, getting the inventory system updated. I'm almost done though. So, yeah, so after this, I'm gonna gather up the cat carrier and put something that smells like her in it because I think Basement Cat was the last one to use it. So it probably, if there is still a towel in it, it probably smells like him. So Valerie is still pondering shapes. All right, all right. Emily got another 100 words. Yes, good job, good job. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm going to go over the events of the coming week as I know them for the Writers Troupe. Let's see. Tomorrow, I'll be right back here at noon. All these times are Eastern times. We'll go from noon till 3 again. Again, I won't be able to go late because I will have Anita's podcast that we have to record at 4. So 12 to 3 here. Then at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening, Amelia will be hosting her writing sprint. She does 30-minute sprints from 7 till about 9. Then on Friday, remember, no Zoom co-working with me because I will be at a convention. I have to be there at I think I'm leaving here at 1 in the afternoon or something. So yeah, so nothing for me on Friday, but Friday evening at 7 p.m., Amelia has her 30-minute writing sprints again from 7 until 9. On Saturday morning at 11 a.m., Mr. James hosts the Saturday Discord sprints. He goes from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. If you go into the Discord, in the sprinting section, there's a voice channel. He'll be in there waiting for you, 11 a.m. till 2. Then on Sunday morning, 10 a.m., Lisa Raby does the Sunday morning write-in, and she goes from 10 until 12. If for whatever reason she cannot make it and she cannot do it, usually Daylin does sprints during the same time, but over in the Discord. So from 10 a.m. until noon. Then on Sunday evening, we have our regular Zoom chat. I should be home in time for that. It starts at 7 p.m. If you haven't voted on the topic or topics of your choice, please take a second to do that. It's in the Facebook group in the events section. Find the Sunday event and you'll see a post inside there that lists all the topics that have been suggested so far, and you're welcome to also suggest a new topic if you have one for us to discuss, and vote on any and all topics that you wish. On Monday at noon, we do have Sprints and Meditation with Mr. Joe Compton from 2 until 4. I got an update from him that he's going to be doing that every other week for the foreseeable future, and then he'll assess after, about a month and a half or so. So he goes from 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. Then Monday evening, our Go Indie Now late night news, we had to postpone from this past Monday because of life things. So it will be this Monday at 8 p.m. on the Go Indie Now Go Indie Now YouTube channel. There we go. Too many words, y'all. So 8 till about 9:15, 9:30. On Tuesday, we have writing sprints with Amelia at 7 p.m. She goes from 7 till 9, and that brings us back around to next Wednesday where we'll be here again. So let's see what other people checked in with. Anita checked on the mail, scraped the slush off the front step, more social media sharing, and bought an ebook. Yay, love that. Valerie says my synopsis is 2,400 words already, and it's not even at the midpoint. So that's going well. Let me know if you need any guidance on synopsis stuff. There's a super easy way to do it that is way faster than most other ways. So, yeah. So just send me a message or something somewhere and I'll let you know. Although it may not be until after I get back with the cat. All right. I've got it. This is the version where I'm telling myself the story. Gotcha. All right. Well, an ad break is about to start on Twitch, so we're not going to do that. Okay. Like I said, I'm just going to end the stream, but thank you so much for being here with me. You guys are awesome, and you guys help me get my shit done. So, thank you. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.